Hello, my name is Haley Weibel, and this is my presentation on the Holocaust, Breeding Grounds for Psychological Trauma. The Holocaust and the innumerable amounts of killing had drastic effects on the psyches of the Jewish prisoners. Desensitization, desperate acts of self-preservation, and loss of religion and self are just a few side effects of this nasty period in history. Today I will be going over the psychological aftermath of the Holocaust and its depiction in related media, like Mouse. Many know that the Holocaust led to the death of over 6 million Jewish people through the entirety of the war. Intimidation and fear-mongering were among the common reasons for the seemingly random killings that occurred inside the camps. The mind of those within were akin to livestock on their way to slaughter. Punishments seemed to be dealt with at random, corpses lying around everywhere, and all the other horrors of the camp combined to create an environment that mental anguish. A lack of self-identity began to form within the minds of many prisoners, losing their religion, families, jobs, and dignity. Let's examine a scene from the graphic novel Mouse. In this part of the story, the Jews are being stuck in train cars, waiting to be shipped off to various camps. The trains are freezing cold, and the bodies inside are beginning to pile up. The cold indifference they show to their dead comrades is disturbing, viewing them as something taking up extra room inside rather than fellow man. The circumstances of their imprisonment make this the necessary line of thought, though less people inside means more room and more resources. This is another quote, this time from One Year in Treblinka, a story about another Holocaust survivor. The prisoners were all working in a camp yard when a truck full of bodies pulled up, and they are ordered to unload it. The quote speaks for itself. It is full of a bitter contempt that can only come from dragging dead bodies around for weeks on end. The man devalues life and casts aside any thoughts of its importance, a sign of true depression and desensitization. My final piece of evidence is from the movie Schindler's List. Two scenes jump to mind, especially when talking about the mental state of those in the camp. The first is the selection day scene, where the men and women are being chosen for either the slaughter camps or the work camps. There is a brief but powerful scene where a woman pricks her own finger for a drop of blood to rub on her face. This is an attempt to look livelier and more energetic to hopefully pass inspection. The other scene has a child climbing into a toilet to try and avoid the guards that are looking for children to be shipped off. Both show an almost brutish amount of self-preservation and embody the idea of doing anything you can to survive. The aftermath of the Holocaust was described in a study done by the American Psychosocial Association as concentration camp syndrome, a blanket mental disorder that covered the most common effects of surviving the Holocaust, such as depression, guilt, and personality disorders. As we saw in all books and movies, the people inside internalized the torment they were enduring, leading many to become emotionally distant or hopelessly desperate. There was also a large amount of cultural and physical stress that weighed on their physique, causing many to have a removed sense of humanity or self-identity. These irreversible effects led to psychological disorder and varying amounts of trauma.